A really good friend of mine told me recently that he bought a boosted board. And he also told me that if I wanted to, I could come up to his place and he would let me try it out. I have some free time today, this evening, and it's a gorgeous evening. And this is a gorgeous neighborhood you're gonna see. But anyway, we're gonna ride around and talk about some things. Yeah, the boosted board comes from my friend at this house. This is his dog, Jasper. Come here, Jasper! Come here! He's not so excited about me, but he's a cutie, isn't he? Oh. Jasper! Alright, whatever, Jasper. But here is this boosted board, and I think it's amazing. You can't believe how heavy it is. I mean, it's heavy. Like, I could get an arm workout right here, like a shoulder workout. It's got this, you know, the battery and the motor or whatever in there. And first thing I noticed when I stepped on it was this flex. Woo! Yeah, I'm in flip-flops, don't yell at me. But it's got a really nice flex. It's also got this, it's called a pistol grip, I guess. At least that's what my friend called it. And you have to be holding this down for it to go. And then this is forward. Oh, watch, you can just make it go. Look! And reverse. So that's kind of cool, right? And reverse is the same as brake. So one thing I have to do is learn how to work it in my left hand so that I can hold my selfie stick with my right hand. Yeah. Cool thing about this neighborhood is it's so nice I can just leave my keys in my car. Ha! Alright, so here we go. You're really not going to see a nicer neighborhood, so let's just take a little ride looking at the neighborhood for a second. Okay, I'm feeling pretty stable so far. That could change. I'm doing pretty good. And I was trying to think of a topic to talk about while I went around today. And so I thought I'd talk about the topic that's been on my mind most recently, you know, like YouTube, music-wise. And that's gear. I'm finding that the more gear that I get, the more gear that I need. And I think I've heard people say that before, but I didn't know it was true until it happened to me. Oh, look at this one. In fact, my right eye waters every time I skateboard if I don't wear sunglasses. So yeah, I want to tell you like a little story about how my gear has progressed. When I first started doing YouTube, I was doing nothing but iPhone, just like I'm doing right now. I had a selfie stick and an iPhone and that was it. Oh my gosh, this thing's fun. So all my videos, like I have a nice room in my house where my piano is, and it's really nice light, so I didn't need to like invest in lighting or a nice camera or anything. I didn't think, you know, I just kind of got my start. And I'd recommend that to anybody who wants to get started in YouTube. You just start and you can just use your phone. I mean, the camera in a phone, in any of phones now, I mean, they all shoot in 1080p, right? And they all have decent microphones, so why not? After a while, maybe after I got like 10,000 subscribers, my son said to me, "Mom, you're doing well at this, and your subscribers are gonna start expecting better content, like better quality. So you need a better camera." And that was, you know, that was a little frustrating to me because I was saving up some money and then I had to spend all my money. But I did some research and talked to some people. And picked up the Panasonic Lumix G85, I think it is, and it's great. So now I've got good quality on my camera, but also you couldn't just have a nice camera, you had to have a nice microphone to go with your camera, because the camera doesn't have a nice microphone. So I got the Rode Videomicro to put on top of my camera. It screws in and has a little fuzzy wind filter, you know. So that's good. Immediately, I mean, after I kind of learned how to use it, I'm still learning how to use the camera, but immediately my video quality got better. And it's good. Like, if I've got all the settings right, it's a good quality now. And the audio got better too. But as I watched more and more YouTubers, I noticed that sometimes they had really good audio. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of gnats. Really good audio. If you ever watch people do covers, you know, and they've got a nice setup and it just sounds like you're right there next to them, like they're all amplified and there's reverb and everything. I wanted that. So my friend Brian told me about the iRig. It's just this tiny little box and you can plug in straight from your mixer. So like if I have my piano going into that and my voice, then whatever sound comes out of the mixer goes through that box directly into my iPhone. And that's it. So if I'm making a video, the sound will, you know, come directly out of that iRig, or if I'm live. So I started trying it live, but my only microphones were, you know, like just normal stage vocal microphones that everybody has. So I would put one on the piano and one on my voice, go through my mixer, make the sound nice, and then it got better, right? So that was cool. Like, you had a direct in of my voice and my piano, but to have one of those vocal stage mics miking my piano wasn't ideal. People were saying, oh, the piano sounds punchy, you don't have a good mic for the piano, that's too bad. And people were also saying you should have a better mic for your voice. And that's okay. I mean, it's, you know, it's YouTube. People are bound to give you suggestions, which is exactly why I'm doing this today. I'm hoping for some good suggestions from you guys. Back to my little journey, my sound journey. So then I started looking at nicer recording kind of microphones. That's when I got the AKG P220. I did a lot of research on it, asked a lot of people. They said it was a good, like, not beginning, like it was like a good mid-range microphone. So spent some money, got that, realized, yeah, I don't know what happened, but something happened around the time that I purchased that microphone. It was like in September, and something happened with YouTube. I don't know what it is, and I've asked them about it and nobody can answer me. But I started using that microphone, and I don't think it's that microphone's problem. I think because I've also tried with my two stage mics too. But there started to be a wobble. You can go back and listen to my live videos and see that the ones in August sounded pretty fantastic, and the ones in September have a problem. There's a wobble, and there's a every once in a while, and there's a cutting out every once in a while, and it just got bad. And I thought, well, what the heck, maybe this little iRig can't handle this nice new microphone that requires phantom power and everything. So I wrote to IK Multimedia and I told them that I'd like to have their bigger audio interface called the iRig Duo Pro. And they actually wrote me back with the help of a nice man that I met who, and they offered to sponsor me. So that was cool, and they sent it to me for free. Now, I tried that with my phone, and there was a horrible wobble. But it wasn't the fault of the iRig, it's the fault of YouTube, because I always do a test before I go live. I always just shoot a normal video and then listen to the sound to see what it's like in earbuds, and I get it just perfect, and then I go live on YouTube. And that used to work, but in September somehow they switched something, and it's not the same anymore. There's a wobble, there's a cutout, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely there, and it's definitely not going away. So I thought, all right, I have to try something different. Maybe my phone isn't the way to go anymore, which kind of stinks, because on a phone, when you do a live, you can see the comments right there. They're right there, and you can, you've got a great video. Like, the phone always produces a good video for me. So now what I had to do was figure out how to go through my new audio interface, the iRig Duo Pro, with my computer, with my laptop. So when I got that fancy camera, I also spent money on a fancy computer, and I got the 2017 MacBook Pro. And so I learned that I had to get something called OBS software. I think there's other softwares too, but I learned how to use OBS. But that meant that I had to use my webcam on my MacBook. I feel like my skateboard's losing power. I gotta check this out. Brakes. Brakes. It's doing this. That means something's not right. That means my skateboard's almost out the door. That's right. Darn. Okay, let's sit down and talk. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, so the video quality immediately went down when I started using my laptop. It's not the webcam on the MacBook Pro isn't anything to write home about. So that's too bad. But the audio went up. That was good. So I'm using my AKG on the piano? No, I don't think I did. I used it on my voice. I've tried it both ways. I've tried it on the piano, and it's not really meant for piano. So once I started doing that, people said, oh, your audio's getting a lot better, but you need some nice piano microphone. So then I started my quest researching, I started a new quest researching piano mics. I ran a poll on Facebook. I asked all of my audio techie friends to help me with that, and we settled on the Rode NT4. It's a stereo mic. It's like in one body, but there's two mics, so it's set up in the XY pattern, and it records your piano in stereo. It's also great, just a great overhead mic, I think, even for like choral groups. I've read that, or for overhead drum mics. I think it might also sound really good. I don't know, lots of situations. So anyway, I got that in the mail. I bought it used. I got it for about $340. Came used in the mail, and then I realized. I mean, I knew, but I didn't get it yet, because I'm pretty much I'm a novice at all this tech stuff. I've always just kind of done whatever it takes to get by. Like, if I have a nice keyboard and a good setup for my mic and an amp, you know, I'm set. I can play my gigs. So I've never really had to buy gear until YouTube. So anyway, I knew it recorded in stereo. I didn't really realize that the XLR cable would come out of the microphone, split into two, and take up two jacks. Now, the mixer that I have has two XLR inputs, and then it's got, I think, 3 or 4 others that are just 1/4-inch inputs. So right away, that makes it impossible for me to record my vocals and my piano at the same time. And not only to record, but to go live. So I was like, crud, if I use this stereo microphone into my mixer, then then I'm gonna have to use like a, you know, XLR to 1/4" adapter on my vocal, and those inputs on my mixer don't have any reverb. There's no effects. So I need a bigger mixer all of a sudden, and I haven't done that yet because I'm frustrated. I made one nice video where I used the Rode NT4. That was my Memphis in June video, and I you know, you probably knew, but what I did was I recorded the piano first with a nice overhead shot on my nice camera of my hands on the keys, and then like pretended to play piano and did a whole other track. I just using GarageBand on my computer, a whole other track where I sang. In fact, I did several takes, and then I had my camera in several spots around the room so that it would look like I had like 4 cameras on me or something while I was playing and singing. But I wasn't playing and singing. I was pretending to play, and I just got a good, you know, vocal take from the AKG microphone. I didn't do it for that video, but I didn't know how. So the stereo on the NT4, it wasn't really working. Like, even though it recorded in stereo, I didn't know how to take that. So it's going from my mixer. I had an out from the mixer going into my new iRig Duo Pro and into my computer into GarageBand. It just came out as one track, the piano, and I was like, why isn't it 2 tracks if it's stereo? I guess I don't know the answer to that. I'm asking you that. I've been researching to try to figure that out, and the best that I can figure out is that GarageBand doesn't really do that. So I found a workaround, which is cool. I just learned last night how to take my track that was recorded in stereo that looks like just one track, pan it all the way to the right, save it as a mono file in iTunes. It's a cool little tutorial that I saw as an AIFF file, and then to go back, pan it all the way to the left, save it as a separate mono file in iTunes, and then drag those files back into GarageBand, and then I've got a fully left and a fully right. I think that I'm on the right track there, and I could do it again, but I'm not sure. You might listen to this and go, no, Amy, that's not right. So I don't really know how to record stereo into GarageBand. Maybe I need something more expensive than GarageBand, which is free, which just makes me shake my head too, because like I said, the more gear I get, the more gear I need and things I need. And really, all I want to do is just make a nice little live video with good sound. So I'm frustrated about that. Also, I really don't like to record my piano separately from my voice and fake it like that and pretend, you know. I hate that. I don't sing as well if I'm not playing piano, and I don't play as well if I'm not singing. They're like connected for me. So if I do that, I'm like the whole time I was recording my piano track, I was actually singing so that it would be authentic. But the whole time I recorded my vocal, I wished that I could be playing, but I couldn't because my AKG would have picked up that sound. So I had to just pretend to be playing. I pretended my best, not to fool the viewer, but to make me feel like I was doing what comes naturally to me, which is playing and singing. So also, I don't want to, I mean, everybody tells me, Amy, if you want a good pure piano sound and a good pure vocal sound, there's no way to do it where you're doing both at the same time, because one's always going to bleed to the other. I don't know that I really care. My first album I recorded, the Up Till Now album, I did all the piano first and all the vocals second, separately, in 2 different studios actually. And I didn't like it, and I didn't feel like it was authentic. My second album, I recorded at Nolan Shahid's studio over in Pasadena. I love Nolan. And he said, we can do it, Amy, you're just not gonna ever be able to punch in. So I was like, cool, I'll just get good takes, and I did. And so from that album, nothing is punched. Maybe some background vocals or something, but there's hardly any of those anyway. So that album I felt a lot more authentic about, and somehow he did it. Somehow Nolan did it. What I wish is that I had the money to pay Nolan to come over to my house and teach me all this stuff. But actually, I don't think he knows about OBS software and how to get you know, a good live stream with good sound, and which mixer I need to buy. Do I need to buy a mixer, or do I need to buy another audio interface that has more channels? Because this Duo Pro has 2 channels, which I thought would be awesome, because now I go out of my mixer in stereo. That's something I forgot to mention. So I come out of my mixer left and right into both channels of the iRig Duo Pro. And I'm not even sure that that's the right way to go. And I spend so much time watching tutorials trying to teach myself about how to do this correctly. And nobody's doing what I do. There isn't anybody else who wants to play piano and record live. It's just not out there. All of the tutorials that I watch are about gamers, which doesn't help me at all. You can see, like, right? That's a good size wheel right there. I wasn't afraid at all going over cracks and bumps. Let's see if I can power it back on and get enough juice just to get me back in that driveway. Alright, back up the driveway, little spin around the fountain. I'm going to show you the backyard. This is really one of the nicest houses I've ever been to. And there are my really good friends that live here. I can't tell you how many weddings I've played down here in this yard. Isn't that nice? So pretty. We even have a vineyard over here. Sometimes I get grapes and we make jam. Delicious. Jelly, I guess. Delicious jelly. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me and going on a little boosted board ride. I still can't even believe that I did that. So fun, and thank you to my friend James who let me do it. Also, I really do welcome your gear advice. I need to know if I need a better audio interface. Maybe I can ask my friends at IK Multimedia to hook me up with something if they make it. Maybe they don't make what I need. Maybe I need to run a different software out of my laptop. I also know that if I wanted to use my nice camera for the live streams, my Panasonic nice camera, I need to get something called a capture card. And a nice one is expensive, like $400 or something. But I'd like to do that because the video quality really stinks coming out of that webcam. So I need advice about that too. Just basically how to record better and how to make my live streams better. My normal videos, I'm just gonna use that, you know, the little microphone that I put on top of my camera, the Rode Videomicro. I don't need anything fancy for those, thank goodness. All right, I'm gonna deliver this back to the door. Thanks everybody for riding around with me today. I welcome your comments and all of your tips. I'll see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music.